And welcome to another live stream watch along reaction. This afternoon, it wouldn't be morning. This high noon, we are watching Portugal versus DR Congo, FIFA World Cup 2026 Group K. Today is the final day of the group stage, match day 1. Of course, we still have match days 2 and 3. We have 6 days going through the groups again before we get to the final match day, where there's 3 games a day, or 6 games with 3 windows of 2 at the same time to finish the group stage. This time next week, we'll be on the final match day of the group stage. A moment of silence for Dillon, or at least they showed us a picture while playing the anthem, but either way. With that being said, here we are, Portugal versus DR Congo, Group K, Match 1. The Congo anthem. I just had Diogo Jota's picture up as the Portuguese anthem was playing. Damn. That was a good way to honor him. DR Congo, who won a playoff to get here against Jamaica. Here we are. 4 games today. First one of Group K, then we have Group L, and then we finish off with Group K, and then by the time we wake up tomorrow, we're back to the top of the group list. And then we go through them again for 6 days, and then we finish them out over a 4-day period with 6 games per day through 3 windows and matches. With that being said, starting 11s are as follows. For Portugal, in goal, Diogo Costa. Right back, João Cancelo. Center back, Thomas Araujo. That's the way he says it. It's not Araujo or Araujo, it's Araujo. Yeah, something like that. Okay. Center back, Renato Veiga. Left back, Nunes. Center defense mid, João Neves. It's been a while. How are we doing? Well, I would say redneck, not Confederate, but okay. Center defensive mid, Vitinho. Right wing, Bernardo Silva. Bruno Fernandes, Pedro Neto, Cristiano Ronaldo. Portugal. DR Congo. Lionel Mpasi and Zhao. Arthur Masuaku, Steve Kapawati, Chancel Mbemba, Axel Tuansebe, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Ngal, Il Mukau, Samuel Matusami, Edo Kayembe, Cedric Bakambu, Yohan Wissa for DR Congo. But it's nice to see you, Zach. It's been a while, yeah, damn. It's been a while. Yeah. It's been a while. All right. First of 4 today, and then there's 4 tomorrow, there's 4 Friday, tomorrow's Thursday, right? All my days are running together at this point. Too many games. I am going to be burnt out by the end of this stuff. Jesus Christ. Prediction score for Portugal, DR Congo. Flyers are too excited and been sleeping on football the past year to 18 months. Oh, you're going to love Joseph Wolff, by the way. Just to say. And Simon Benoit, Abdul Rahman Al Jassim from Qatar. It's a good way to get back in as the World Cup. But yeah, the Flyers have been good. And I think Rick Tockett's been a good coach for y'all. You're going to love Joseph Wolff, by the way. I knew he was probably going to get traded, but Simon Benoit is he's got a lot of heart. He's got a lot of heart, and he's a taller defender, and your defense is pretty short. Diogo Costa, Nunes, Renato Veiga, Thomas Araujo, João Cancelo, Vitinha, João Neves, Pedro Neto, Bruno Fernandes, Bernardo Silva, Cristiano Ronaldo, Portugal. Starting 11. But again, yeah, you'll love Joseph Wolff. Artur Akimov better be damn good. / Dennis Hill to be. If this is going to end well. Or we better go for Bobrovsky or some shit. But then again, we just hired Jim Hiller. What are we doing? Leon Pasi, Masawaku, Kapawade, Twanzebe, Mbemba, Wan-Bissaka, Kayembe, Mutasami, Mukau, Wisa, and Bakambu for DR Congo. But I don't blame you. I think the Flyers have been amazing recently. 1-0 Portugal, DR Congo. But, yeah, exactly. World Cup, you got to get back into it. But, yeah, you're going to love – you actually have a goalie now for the first time since Carter Hart with Joseph Woll. They signed Vladar long term. He might be good, but Joseph Woll's better. Emil Andre has some good potential, a very good skater, puck handler. Just small. We have enough of that in defense. I mean, I'm hearing good things about Emil Andre. I liked what I saw from his stats page. John Chaika loves his analytics. I'm gonna hold out hope for that. I mean, he is something the Leafs didn't have in defense last year when it comes to puck movement and actual defense on the blue line, and he can actually move the puck. It'll be interesting. So, I mean, I'm not happy we gave up Joseph Woll, but I kind of expected something was going to happen with our goalies of the main two, and we're off. And, I mean, Woll was the easier one to move, but I thought maybe some dumbass would take Stolarz, but no. Thank God the Marlies are going to the Calder Cup and Akimov is on fire. If not, Jesus Christ. 0-0. I mean, Stolarz isn't bad, but he gets hurt even more than Woll. So the problem with Woll is he doesn't stay healthy. But they're both injury prone. How are we doing, Dillon? Only some of us in this chat are blessed with healthy goalies. That being Dillon and Rory. Well, if the Jets keep Hellebuck, Dillon. I should say Dillon if the Jets keep Hellebuck. And Rory, well, Dobesh is he's the next Carey Price, Patrick Waugh put together. That's why I said if you keep him. The Leafs, we don't know how healthy Akimov will be at the NHL level. Hildeby is injury prone. Stolarz is injury prone. Woll is injury prone. They're awesome on their day, but at least 3 of them are injury prone. 2 minutes in. Playing forward, Portugal. 2 minutes in. Wait, did Cristiano just? Well, shit. The stars are out, boys. No, he didn't. Okay, I was like, don't tell me. Cristiano plays it on. Blocked away. Yesterday was a pretty interesting day, though. Blocked away. Cristiano starting this game. Let's see if he gets a goal against DR Congo, which, you know what? He could still score against the smaller teams. First ever competitive meeting between these two teams. I like those. I'll show Qatar got a bit more nervous after that. Got us a bit more nervous after that first game, I'd say. I mean, they're not as tall as Bosnia, Qatar. They have some quality, but if Canada could finish, we should beat them. If we could actually finish in that game, we should beat them, which I think the most problem. I mean, we don't really finish well anyway, to be certain, but under Jesse Marsh. But I feel like the problems of why we didn't finish against Bosnia aren't exactly there with Qatar. I don't think Qatar is as physical defensively. I don't think they're as tall. I think if we wanted to cross the ball in and try to beat them with crosses and that, it's easier. And I don't think they could scam a corner like Bosnia did. So I think Canada should win that game. But if we drew, it wouldn't really shock me. But a loss would shock me. But then again, do I trust Canada as far as I could throw them? Honestly, offensively, not exactly, no. Canada really needed problem escaping versus Bosnia. I agree. Oh, well, what do you know? Huh. Playing backwards. I know we're going to focus, or there will be weather that we keep an eye on throughout the day, but this is not it. Tropical Storm Arthur has been named, which we expected to happen through PTC 1. Louisiana, Mississippi, Gulf Coast going to get hit hard. Tropical Storm Arthur, well, I wouldn't say hit hard, but it's going to be a lot of rain. 5% slight risk of severe weather, 10% tornado risk, or 5% tornado risk. No SIG on that. It's going to get rainy in Louisiana, Texas, and Mississippi for Tropical Storm Arthur. There it is. The first name of the tropical season has been given. For an El Nino year, June 17th is pretty early, but I know that's that's crazy. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. That's cool. 5 minutes in. Plays forward. Cross in. Blocked away. Play like we did that first half versus Paraguay should be a similar result for your 4-0. When it comes to the USA, here's my thing. Header, goal, goal, goal. João Neves. João Neves with the goal for Portugal, and it's 1-0. João Neves opens the scoring for Portugal. Off the cross, header and in, João Neves. Not exactly where I would have went for the first goal for Portugal, but okay. But here's the thing. I think the USA's defense scares me against Australia. The pace that Australia has and the fact the USA's questionable defensively, what a cross by Pedro Neto. Header by João Neves. I didn't know he was tall enough to do that. I didn't know he could get up like that. Let's go, shorty. I didn't know he could get up like that. One 0. I didn't know he could get up like that. I think the USA's defense is what worries me against Australia. Like, it's going to be tested on the break, especially Tim Ream and a 70% Chris Richards. I think Australia could blow past the back line, especially if they're way too high or just the pace of Australia is much better than the USA's back line, which I think it probably is. You got to score multiple goals. If the USA only scores 1 or 2, they might be in trouble, at least for the idea of they ain't going to win the game. They might get a point, but I think if you're a USA fan, you got to hope 3 or 4 goals. I don't think it's going to be a clean sheet with the fact that Australia could get on the break. Now, of course, they did give up a lot of chances to Turkey, but Turkey couldn't finish. I do think the USA has more quality than Turkey does, or at least they're not going to try to walk it in. I think the USA could create better than Turkey did, or their opportunities. While you could say it was a little bit of unluckiness that Turkey got affected with, but I think the USA, if they get the amount of chances Turkey get, they should still win the game. They still should put those away. I don't think they're going to walk it in or just force it through Pulisic. Even though I think Pulisic is a bit more physical than Goulet. I think Goulet was very much, they tried to force it through him, Turkey, and it didn't work because, frankly, I don't think he was ready for the physicality of Australia. He tried to walk it in, and it just didn't work. I think Christian Pulisic can handle the physicality a little bit better. I mean, he did play in the Prem, and now he's playing in Serie A, which are probably the two most physical leagues in the world. So I'm worried about the USA's defense. But offensively, if they get the chances that Turkey got, the same quality, 3 or 4 goals for the USA, and I think 3-2, 4-2 with what worries me defensively. Destin Robinson should be a bit more conservative than Adams after watching Australia's tape. I agree with that. But the thing about that is I think Dest and Robinson have the get-back speed to sort of survive. If they're not conservative, it's Tim Ream that's like, if I was Australia, I'd be targeting Tim Ream. I know he's the captain. I don't think you play him against Australia. I don't. Chris Richards is 70%. He's their best center back. I think you have to go. I think Chris Richards, if you have to play one of Ream or Richards, and it's not because Richards is bad, it's because he's 70%. It's because he's at 70% and still injured on torn ligaments. They can't heal that quickly. It's just that he could play on them. It wouldn't shock me if he gets surgery after the World Cup and misses like 2 or 3 months for his league side. Shot what? It wouldn't shock me. Palace. It wouldn't shock me. Which would suck because they're playing Europa League football, but either way, for them. But he's got the experience and he's the know-how defensive and the mental game, positions and such. Yeah, but here's the thing about Tim Ream. The dude gets burned in MLS every week. It's a wonder he didn't get burned against Paraguay. Australia is the exact type of team who's going to make him look bad. The man gets burned in MLS at left back every week. For a team who plays Haram ball in Charlotte. USA don't play Haram ball. I don't know if this is the type of game Ryan Craig will be Vegas' head coach. Yeah, I kind of expected that. They'd promote him from Henderson. Yeah, that's what they've been saying. I can't believe the Leafs basically just hired a coach the day after John Tortorella said he was leaving the Golden Knights. They didn't even give him a chance. And it's Jim Hiller. Why do we fire Berube then? Oh, Lord. I could understand the trade yesterday. I'm not going to say that was a misstep by John Chaika. Hiring Jim Hiller might be his first misstep. Like, really. And I thought Bruce Cassidy would have been bad. I thought I wouldn't like Bruce Cassidy being the Leafs coach, but at this point, I kind of wish we did. At least Bruce Cassidy's won a Stanley Cup. And people wanted Berube. This is why I didn't want Berube gone. The team was injured to hell and back. Treliving made shitty moves. Basically, they sewered a guy who's won a Stanley Cup because everything else went. And yeah, he didn't handle it the best, but I'll always believe in Craig Berube. I always will. And because of that 1 year in St. Louis. And hell, he was good most of the rest of the time. But I'd like to think that his ability was closer to winning the division than bottom of the league. I'd like to think this was just the worst year possible. And he got sewered because of it. And I don't know. I don't think Jim Hiller is much. He's probably worse. Like, the Leafs should have at least done due diligence on Tortorella and was, like, told the guys who were, like, the 5 finalists, hey, I don't know. DR Congo plays it backwards. Like, it's not Patrick Waugh, but it's not Joe Pavelski. Like, I don't know. Is Jim Hiller a worse pick than Patrick Waugh? Probably not. But he's definitely the second worst pick they could have made. Them going after one of these college coaches or Portugal scoring first at the World Cup, 16 wins, 3 draws, 1 loss. Like, here's the problem with that. I mean, you're right, probably, mentality-wise, that they probably should just embrace the rebuild around McKenna and get rid of Nylander and Matthews and Tavares and just build around Nyes and Cowan and McKenna. You're probably right about that. No, don't get rid of Matthew Nyes. He's closer to a youth and closer to that window than Matthews' window. We're not. No. Should they build around, like, in theory, are you probably right? The Leafs should just build around McKenna, Nyes, and Cowan? Yes. But Vamos Ronaldo. Well, at least Portugal's up 1-0. He's looked like he's actually been moving pretty well. But here's the thing. When you have 3 of the core 4 still left, playing forward, backwards, out for a throw. He's doing good so far. I agree. 16th minute. Playing forward. Here comes Portugal. Cross in. Goes down the box. Cristiano Ronaldo gets back up. Ball crossed in. Header cleared away. DR Congo. DR Congo is struggling. Gets the ball back and they go the other way. Flyers fans saying, get Matthews, please. No. Total 76ers move for Harden or Paul George. Get out of here with that. Here's the thing with Matthews. I think part of it was Berube's system. that made him look worse. I don't think Hiller's going to play a system where Matthews is playing like a 2C, a defensive 2C. It's part of his. I think last year was more of Matthews' injury that made him look bad. This year, here's a chance. Shot, save. Shot, save. Here comes Portugal. Shot, wide. Oh, Lord. th minute. Playing over the top. I do think some team will give you picks and a Michkov kind of player for him, and that's what you should do. I don't think – here's the thing. I think getting the first overall pick was bad in a way of – but then again, if we didn't get a top 5 pick, we would have lost our picks. So we were in the top 5 teams of odds to keep our pick. But the fact we won the lottery probably is a bad outcome because not that Gavin McKenna's a bad player to get, but they could think, hey, we could meld eras. We could take the three guys we should build around, but keep Tavares, Nylander, and Matthews and put them all together as one big six core. And it's either going to fail miserably or it's either going to go amazingly. I'm not sure which. Because, yes, they should. Would I be mad if they got rid of Matthews, Tavares, and Nylander? Especially Matthews and Tavares? No. That's probably what we should do. And I understand that. But there's no way Leafs fans, after last year, do you remember? Did you see how bad it got? Like, it got toxic. It got toxic. Like, John Chaika is not going to survive as GM of the Toronto Maple Leafs if he just commits to a complete rebuild. Like, all out off the bat. The dude's already looked as a con artist. Well, I mean, we embraced the rebuild when it was the Shanna plan. So I know we can embrace the rebuild. When we tanked in 15 and 16 for 93 and Matthews and Nylander, we did good at embracing the rebuild because we knew we needed one. This time, it's like, hey, we just won the division a year ago. And there's a lot of things where you could kind of explain away how bad the year was last year. And now we got the first overall pick. It's like, well, we didn't have to be shit that much to get the first overall. And that's basically the rebuild to most Leafs fans in this case. If you put McKenna with Nylander, Matthews, Tavares, Nyes, and Cowan, and Bo Grew. It's like, I don't think Leafs fans, like a year removed from winning the division and finishing in the Eastern Conference semis, like last year was cursed. That I will agree about. But I don't think Leafs fans want to waste Matthews' career, and he's still here. And Nylander is still here. Look what Montreal did. I'm not disagreeing, but cup to rebuild. Well, that one. Yeah, but here's the thing. And I'm not saying this Leafs team's ever been better than that 2021 Montreal team. That 2021 Montreal team was a lucky team. I think even Rory would agree with me there. It was a good team. It was a red-hot team. And Carey Price had his last meaningful hockey of his career. The dude went out in a blaze of glory. Let's be real. They should have never went as far as they did. And that team was a team of destiny. And the only reason they didn't completely fill the team of destiny thing, like getting to the final was about as good as that team could do if everything went right, which it did. I think Rory would agree with me there too. There's only like a couple of players who have been on both rosters of this Habs and that 2021 Habs team. And I think Suzuki, Caulfield, Danault, and that's about it, yeah? When it comes to big names, Suzuki, Caulfield, and Danault. And they just got Danault back. But this Habs team is better than that one. Like, if you put this current Habs team, Josh Anderson and Jake Evans, okay, yeah, they're them too. But if you put this Habs team, and Brendan Gallagher, if you put this Habs team, 2025, 26 Habs team against 2021's, the 2025, 26 Habs team would sweep that 21 Habs team. Even if Carey Price was theoretically playing to the level he did in that playoffs, water break, 1-0, they'd sweep them. The current Habs would sweep the 21 Habs. And they're the ones who made the Cup final. I believe that 100%. Like, it wouldn't even be close. It wouldn't even be close. It wouldn't even be close. And Marty's a better coach than Ducharme, by the way. But I think we all knew that. I think we all knew that in the first moment. I don't think that ever was a question that Marty was a better coach than Ducharme. I think McDavid is staying with the Oilers long term. That's what I heard. I can't believe that. No, there's no way. there's no way. There's no way. He ain't staying long term. I know he got their coach fired, but he's not going to like Babs. If Babs, I'm going to call it. I know they're investigating Babcock. Babcock will still get the Oilers job. I have a funny feeling. Dude, Stan Bowman's their GM. Do you think they care? If the NHLPA lets them hire Babcock, they're going to hire Babs. That's going to be a shit show. You think he wants to stay? Okay. Oilers better get Torts. Yep, because the Leafs are idiots. That's what they should do, is get Torts, and then maybe McDavid will stay. But I feel like I think they wanted Bruce Cassidy. Trade him for a rebuild. Pack like Demidov and Fowler and some picks. No. You don't trade Demidov for McDavid. Fowler, fine. A pick or two, sure. Actually, you don't trade Demidov for McDavid. What? Slavkovsky, maybe. Caulfield, maybe. Demidov. No. 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 Yeah. I think the Habs are on the right track anyway without McDavid. 1-0 Portugal. I don't. It probably does take Demidov to get it done, but I don't think you make that deal. I don't think you make that deal. I just hope that Connor McDavid goes to free agency and the Leafs sign him. Which probably won't happen, but .28th minute. McDavid goes anywhere, be a U.S. team. I don't. Yeah, but who though? It wouldn't be Vegas. San Jose should trade the second pick too. actually. 28th minute. Headed away. Like, I mean, if San Jose could trade the second pick for McDavid, that would be awesome, though. Like, if they could trade the second pick, that, I don't know, that might be enough. Celebrini and McDavid playing together. Well, it was awesome at the Olympics. Holy Lord. You know what? Screw it. If I'm San Jose and he wants out, second overall pick in Misa. Yeah, you know, that would work. Yeah, Michael Misa and the second overall pick to Edmonton for Connor McDavid. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. I wouldn't even be mad about that one, really. Like, if Connor McDavid leaves the Oilers, I would want the Leafs to get him. Probably more likely as a free agent. Well, you know what? I'm going to say it. Playing for DR Congo. DR Congo has the ball. How the hell are they? Cross in. How the hell are they ahead of me? Playing forward. This TV must just be really behind. I don't know. Playing forward. Like, if I was the Leafs, you know what? Matthews and Nylander for McDavid and Hyman. Or if Darnell Nurse wants out, Matthews, Nylander, and Riley for McDavid and Nurse. I mean, I'd like to have Edmonton wants youth. I ain't giving up Matthew Nyes. From my cold, dead hands. I ain't giving up Cowan, I ain't giving up Nyes, and I ain't giving up McKenna. Out of my cold, dead hands. Yeah, that's why it's more likely if we get McDavid, it'd probably be a free agent move. From my cold, dead hands, over the top. Did you see how good Easton Cowan's playing during the Calder Cup Finals? The dude is way too good for the AHL. Matthews maybe going to Columbus. They've been close for Fantilli. We're getting robbed. If that trade happens, we're getting robbed. That sucks. Adam Fantilli for Austin Matthews. I don't care if we have Cowan and McKenna and Nyes. We're getting robbed blind for Adam Fantilli. We're getting robbed blind. We're getting robbed blind. .33rd minute. Free kick over the top. Cleared away. 1-0 Portugal. Still the better team, but DR Congo hasn't really given up after the one goal. They're still playing tough, but Portugal looks the better team here. Yeah, you might have huge potential in Young, but you have Austin Matthews. Austin Matthews is still on pace to beat Ovechkin's goal-scoring record at the end of the day. He's still on pace to do that, even with the 2 shitty seasons. 33rd minute. But maybe this is just what Austin is now. Maybe we should sell high. I don't know. I think he's kind of regressed hard, maybe washed. Again, last year it was the injuries. This year I think it was more Berube's style of hockey, playing him as a defensive 2C. Well, I don't want the Flyers to touch him with a 10-foot pole. Part of me thinks that if he's not getting played like a defensive 2C, he could be back to what he used to be, or at least some form of what he used to be, Matthews. I mean, he does have the flashes. Like, he still has the scoring touch. I don't know if I could. I'm afraid we trade him and he goes back to scoring 60-goal seasons. DR Congo look low-key threatening when they're on the attack. Like, I don't know, man. But then again, that's Leafs hockey for you. Maybe the change of scenery does it. I mean, that's Leafs hockey for you. He probably gets traded and wins the Cup the next year. I don't know how Columbus would win the Cup the next year, but then again, I like Rick Bowness, so I don't know. Maybe he'll find a way. I don't know. I don't know how the Columbus Blue Jackets get through Carolina and New Jersey and all that, but okay. If it was Columbus. I don't know. You're probably right. Matthews is probably washed, and we would probably be better off selling high. But Philly, also, getting through Philly. And even maybe the corpse of Pittsburgh get through Philly. Yeah, I don't know how they get through Philly. Yeah, you're right. And then the corpse of Pittsburgh. Whatever the hell's going on over there. Now, Philly's for real, though. I mean, that Pittsburgh series was... Well, I was talking about the Metro. But, yeah, I don't see how Columbus would get through the Atlantic either if they had to play that round because the wild card. Playing forward. I got to say, you're right. I think the East in general is becoming a crazy conference, not just the Atlantic Division. I think the Metro has caught up, actually. I mean, the Hurricanes just won the Cup. But I think Philly's on their way. Like, I honestly believe when it comes to the Metro, Philly and Carolina are going to have a dogfight year after year to win that division. I think Carolina's lucky they won the Cup this year. Not in a bad way, but this was probably, if they didn't do it this year, it's going to get tougher. Like, it's going to get tougher. The Atlantic didn't have an obvious favorite for the first time in years. The Habs are good, but this was their first really good run. I thought they could have beaten the Hurricanes, but they had the game on their stick a couple of times. But, Hurricanes got it. Things bounced their way. And then they honestly dominated the Golden Knights except for a couple of games there. But, I think Carolina is probably lucky they won the Cup this year because it's only going to get tougher. This was probably their most easiest chance for a while to win the Cup. And I'm not saying it was easy by any means, but, I mean, they swept their way to the conference final. They only lost 3 games all playoffs. They actually were a buzzsaw. They didn't lose in the conference final after dominating the Metro for a whole season. They dominated the Metro. Cleared away. I think Carolina is lucky because I think from now on, Colorado was a wagon. And they got injured to hell and back, and their coach is garbage. Couldn't adjust to save his life. Never really could, especially against Vegas. Like, Vegas is his kryptonite. Like, Vegas knows how to beat Colorado. Shot. Blocked away. It's crazy. 38th minute. For me, here's the thing. Carolina got their opportunity and they finally took it. I'm not saying Carolina's going to be bad next year. Carolina's still going to be great, but the whole Metro is on its way to actually being competitive. This isn't going to just be a walk. Philly and Carolina is going to be a dogfight next year. In New Jersey, I believe in Sonny Maeda. I think Sheldon Keefe has been a good coach for them. At some point, it's got to come together for New Jersey. They have the talent. They have a solid coach in Sheldon Keefe. Not that it went well in Toronto, but New Jersey's going to be there. New York's got Schaefer. I think the Islanders are on their way. But Pittsburgh's still there. They're still kicking. God knows how they're still kicking. Even though the playoffs ended badly. But the Flyers and Hurricanes, it's going to be a dogfight between them. Like, that division's going to be a dogfight between them. And I don't exactly think the Flyers were that bad in their series against the Hurricanes. I don't think it was a sweep. Don't get me wrong. But I don't think the Flyers were that bad. Like, if you just looked at it being a sweep, you're not really looking at it the way it was supposed to be looked at. I think, the Flyers are a young team as well. I mean, the Hurricanes were a better team of the two, but I think the Flyers, there were positives in that series you could take away for as time goes on, but could have won two, exactly. Just like the Habs could have won more than one against them. So I think a lot of bounces went Carolina's way, as well as them being very good throughout that run. For it to be as dominant as it was, a lot of bounces went their way. Now, I'm not saying they wouldn't win the cup, but there's a reality where I don't know if the Ottawa series could have went 7, but it could have went 6. There's a reality where the Philly series at least goes 6, if not 7. There's a reality where the Habs series goes 7. I think there's a reality where the Habs beat the Canes, but either way, we're not living in that one. There's a reality where Vegas and Carolina goes the distance. I think there was a lot of bounces that went Carolina's way that made the run look more dominant than it was, even though it was very dominant. That's just... We took them to 8 overtimes this year, lost 7 of them. Yeah. So, I mean, I think that just shows you're closer than you think, but 41st minute. To my Europeans, if you're watching this on VOD or just watching this now, NHL silly season's about to start. And this is basically the only thing I can hope for as a Leafs fan, that it goes our way. And I love hockey just as much as I do football. I don't live in a blue room, but I have a blue couch. I know hockey. I love hockey as much as I do football, and I know hockey as much as I do football. So it'll come up. It'll come up. I mean, every sport will come up, but like if Steve Dangle knew football as much as he did hockey, well, that's just me, honestly. Like, I'm like if Steve Dangle knew football as much as he did hockey. You know? Sort of, I guess. I don't know. 43rd minute. I honestly don't like it. I think we should have just kept Berube. If we were going to hire Jim Hiller, we should have just kept Berube. I don't understand. It's just change for the sake of change. Like, yeah, did Berube lose the room? Probably. But I'll trust the Stanley Cup champion over a guy who got punked out by the Oilers 3 years in a row. It's not like even the hockey style is even that different than Berube's. Like, we really just said, new name, new face, Same hockey, same bullshit hockey. But hey, they'll listen to him this time, at least for a while. I'm not exactly hyped about it. Yeah, I guess so. Honestly, I mean, Caitlin Clark is the better player than Angel Reese, but I honestly like Angel Reese more than I do Caitlin Clark. I'm not saying, I mean, I like both. I think they're both good players. But I'm not a person who's going to, I don't hate either of them. But honestly, I'd say I'm more of an Angel Reese fan than a Caitlin Clark fan, in my opinion. We got to sign Bolduc to a bridge deal. I'm not sure Doc is coming back. I could be wrong. Playing forward. It's funny. I think Angel Reese's brother played for the Raptors 905. When Chicago traded her, I kind of wanted her to go to the Toronto Tempo. Didn't happen. I was kind of disappointed when I heard she got traded from the Chicago Sky. I was like, damn, she could have been in Toronto. Just like her brother. Well, I'm sure even though he's playing in Saga, he's probably living in Toronto, but I don't know. They definitely train in Toronto. So. 4 minutes of stoppage time. You know, that would have been nice. But I think the Tempo were actually pretty good. I mean, they're not the best, but they're pretty good. How we doing, El Nini? How we doing? You know what? I found this comment funny. Somebody said kids born in Italy between 2010 and 2015 have seen more international trophies than English people born since 1966. I rest my case. Italy's been bad, and that's still true. You know, it's funny. And you know what? Even funnier, Italy might be shit, but I've seen Italy win more international trophies in my lifetime than England ever has. It all comes out in the wash. It all comes out in the wash. 2. World Cup Euros. What can England say? Put your trophies on the table. Put your trophies on the table. We may have missed 3 straight World Cups, but we have more international trophies than you in my lifetime. Or just since 1966. Either or. Put your trophies on the table. Put your trophies on the table. Put your trophies on the table. Italian Canadians, Greek Canadians, and Portuguese Canadians can all shake hands in a circle that they have more trophies than Italy. Or than England, I mean. They have more trophies than England. 2004 Euros, Greece. Portugal Euro 2016. Italy, World Cup 06. And Euros 2021. At least since the millennium. Since the turn of the millennium. In my lifetime, we can all shake hands and be like, hey, we all have titles and England doesn't. I don't know. I feel like that might turn into a holy war in 5 seconds after the handshake. But it might not be pretty after the handshake. It might turn into an all-out brawl. But at least we can agree on the handshake before fisticuffs begin. Okay. Crossed in, crossed out. You know, it's kind of funny. I put on for Canada better than Tate McRae does. After all that, whatever, it's fine. 49th minute. Colombia's Uzbekistan at the Azteca Pier Cinema. Absolute cinema. 0-4. Ninth minute. DR Congo goal. Ball crossed in. Off the corner, short corner. They play it top of the box. Cross. Header. What? Nobody covering him. What? Was that Wisa? Wisa. Yohan Wisa with a goal. Who was covering him? What the hell? Whoa. What? Why was nobody covering him? What was that? 1-1. No way. What? Yohan Wisa with a World Cup goal. Nice goal, though. Oh, so you're behind a little bit, too. Okay. Oh, yeah, it's a nice goal, but where the hell is the defense? Like, why the hell they just split the Red Sea for him? Where the hell was everybody? Like, he just got into, like, nobody's going to... I'm just going to scooch on in here. 50th minute. I'm just going to scooch on in here. And he freaking got hops, too. He's got hops, too. Yohan Wisa with a goal. Brother got hops, too. One draw, and it's halftime. Why are all these top nations struggling? I don't know. I mean, you would think DR Congo's better with the U.S. weather than Portugal, though. It's interesting, though. Roberto Martinez is a fraud. Belgium would have won a World Cup without him. And I'm the guy who predicted Belgium to win in 2018. They got pretty damn close, though, in my defense. To be fair, I wasn't that far off. I am notably the guy who had Belgium winning the World Cup in 2018. Yeah, I have YouTube TV. Wait, is that Osimo? Or is that just a different robot? Osimo! It's Osimo! It's an upgraded version of Osimo. No. He hasn't done much, but I won't say he's done badly. 80% possession to 20, and they're just down. They're tied because they can't defend a corner. Jesus Christ. Portugal were already in halftime mode during that goal. With that being said, I'll take a short break. I'll talk about the stats, get this one going. Sit tight, be back. 1-1 at the half. I was just talking about this game. But either way, sit tight, be back. 1-1. Damn, that's interesting. We're back to the stats at the half. Portugal were just asleep. But instead, DR Congo were showing signs. But again, I can't. You should have a defender on that. It's 11v11. Why is everyone blaming Ronaldo Benitez, Bernardo Silva, and Bruno Fernandes? If I'm blaming anybody, I'm blaming the defenders. I'm not blaming Cristiano on that. 80% pass accuracy to 20% pass accuracy, 2 shots to 6, 0 big chances to 1, 461% or pass accuracy, accurate passes to 98, 94% pass accuracy to 98, 1 yellow card to 1 corner to 3, 2 shots to 6, 0 shots off goal to 1, 1 shot on goal to 2. We got 490 passes to 120, 94% pass accuracy to 82. We got 8 throws to 5, 11 touches the opposition box to 5, 1 offside to 1, 1 yellow card to 1, 0 red cards to 0, 3 fouls to 5. I mean, I agree with that, but I'm just talking about the goal. I mean, Portugal has been good, but DR Congo has actually been better than I expected. Like, DR Congo have been a solid side. They've played well. They've created chances. Definitely an interesting game so far of football when it comes down to it. But with that being said, DR Congo has been playing solidly. With that being said, waiting for the second half start. If the sentence does not begin with Messi is better, then shut the hell up, everybody, says Son. Second half, here we go. Well, here's what I gotta say. Oh, speaking of, here's something for Leafs fans. Jim Hiller used a 1-3-1 in LA, but primarily because that's what their roster was best suited to play. It wasn't his preference, or so I'm told. It won't be what they use in Toronto. We'll have more appetite for East-West plays, says Justin Bourne. Well, you know what? I'm glad to hear that, because that 1-3-1 was garbage. If the Leafs don't play a 1-3-1 and Jim Hiller has a different system that he actually wants to play that he wasn't allowed to play in LA, Francisco Conceição coming on for Portugal. Wait. Messi scored those goals. He didn't pay the rest for shit. Well, at least not last night. But no, those were good goals. Either way. Well, if Jim Hiller didn't want to play a 1-3-1, that makes me feel a little bit better. Bernardo Silva for Francisco Conceição. That makes me feel better. If that Hiller didn't want to play a 1-3-1 and he wanted to play a different system. Well, if the Leafs ain't going to a Messi has luck, not skill. He has both. More skill than luck, but sometimes you need luck. Playing forward. But yeah, no, that's good to hear that Jim Hiller don't want to play a 4 or a 1-3-1. Good. Because I'd be pissed if he did. That would be horrible for the Leafs. .46 minute. Yohan Weiss has 9 goals in 39 appearances for DR Congo. I give Messi credit, though. He might win another trophy to his resume next month. First ever DR Congo goal of the World Cup. Yohan Weiss, 45 plus 5. So they've been there before, but that was their first ever World Cup goal. Huh. I knew they weren't a debutante. Shit. Okay. First World Cup goal for DR Congo. Messi probably has the best resume of all time. I'm going to say probably. Even if the Portuguese fans get pissed at me. I think Messi has the best resume of all time in football. Cristiano. I mean, what? Messi has what, like, how many Ballon d'Ors? 7, 8? And shit, if he wins the World Cup, he might win another one. During World Cup years, they matter a lot, more than anything else. It's not like he was shitty in MLS. They made the World Cup in 1974. They didn't score any goals. They allowed 14. DR Congo. Header. Out for a goal kick. They have not qualified for a World Cup since 74, and that was at Zaire. So, yeah, that was their first World Cup goal. They've scored 1 and allowed 14. They never made it as DR Congo to the World Cup until this day. Even if Cristiano won the World Cup, I don't know if his trophy resume is still as good as Messi's, but as I said, Messi left Europe as the only player with 20 goals, 20 assists that season. You know what? I'm going to say this. As I said, if Messi wins another World Cup, whatever GOAT debate was left, because I think it's 80-20 at this point. I think most people, whether the Portuguese get mad at me or not, can admit that Messi's the GOAT. Right now, Messi's winning that GOAT debate 80-20. Cristiano Ronaldo is getting BTFO'd in that GOAT debate like his name was George Wallace. Or Michael Dukakis. You know? Yeah, we'll go with that. Or Kim Campbell. I know, political deep cuts, I know. Playing forward. DR Congo attacking into the box. Shot, save, rebound, cleared away. If Cristiano wins the World Cup, even if he doesn't go through Argentina on his way, predictably, I'd say they do. Or they would have to, I should say. If he goes through Argentina on his way, if Portugal goes through Argentina on Cristiano's way to a World Cup, it's definitely a 50-50 GOAT debate once again. Even if they win it, it's still probably 45-55, but Cristiano pulls it back to more of a John Kerry level loss at worst. I'm going to keep going the political deep cuts. If Argentina win the World Cup, the GOAT debates are completely over. The 20% of people who still think Cristiano's the GOAT, like fervently, it's over. It's over. It was already over, but it's over. The only way to pull it back is win the World Cup to at least 50-50, and even then it's just 50-50. And Messi probably still has the better argument, but who knows? When it comes to 50-50 choices, sometimes the better argument doesn't win. Again, look at politics. Corner. Portugal winning it would be despite Ronaldo. Yes, but do you think people would look at it that way? Messi did a lot more in 22 and still is when it comes to playing for Argentina. Cristiano, people be like, oh, he finally won his. He's going to lift it. He'd still be front and center lifting that trophy. For better or for worse, people would still be looked at as his, even if he only scored one goal, which is honestly realistically possible if they won the World Cup. Won't be the first time a meaningful striker doesn't score a goal or barely scores a goal. During a World Cup. You could pull the Giroud of 2018. Cristiano goes down the box and they don't even look at it. And he's just getting up slow. This Messi's way better than the Messi in 22. You sure about that? I don't think. I wouldn't say that, but okay. I wouldn't say that. Okay. Over the top. Header. 53rd minute. Cross in. Goes down the box. No penalty. Congo is very solid, man. DR Congo is very solid. Tomorrow we got Czechia, South Africa live. Switzerland, Bosnia live. Canada, Qatar live RSR. And Mexico versus South Korea live RSR. We got USA, Australia live. RSR. Scotland, Morocco live. Brazil, Haiti live. Turkey, Paraguay live. On Friday. Saturday, 53rd minute. Netherlands, Sweden live. Ooh. Playing forward. Yeah, over the top. Portugal has the ball down. Cristiano Ronaldo plays it on. Portugal attacking. 54th minute. Into the box. Cross over the top. Brought down. Shot. Goal. 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 Offside, Cancelo. Cancelo is offside. clear offside. Goal kick. Is it? Is it though? Oh, well, there it is. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that one was offside. First ball, no. The second ball, yes. He's 2 steps off. DR Congo corner. Ball crossed in, out for a corner. Yep. Netherlands, Ecuador, Curacao, live RSR, I guess. Japan live against Tunisia. Netherlands, Sweden, live RSR. Germany, Ivory Coast, live RSR. Ecuador, Curacao. Spain, Saudi Arabia, live. I don't even... However that day goes. Argentina, Austria. Jordan, Algeria. France, Iraq. Header. We'll get to those when we get to those. Tuesday's the last day of match day 2 of the group stages. 6 days. Wednesday starts the end of the group stage. '56 minute. Playing forward. Blocked away. Here's a chance. Shot off the post. DR Congo is shit, man. They might be the better team. We're getting to the point where they might be the better team. Wow. Sadiki coming on. So on the final day of the match days, the group stage, we got Group B, C, then A. Sadiki on. '56 minute. Who's more famous, Argentina or Chelsea? Argentina, probably. 1-1. Curacao, Ivory Coast, so Group E, F, and D. On Thursday, in that order. Group I, H, and G. In that order on Friday. L, K, J, in that order on Saturday. Sunday's the first game of the round of 32. 57th minute. '57th minute. Player down, I guess. 58th minute. Noon Minge gets tackled in midfield. So June 28th, the knockout stage begins. We are 11 days away from the knockout stage of the World Cup. Honestly, shit, this first round is blown by. This first round's blown by, man. Yeah, he was way offside. That second ball, he was way offside. It's not even a question. 58th minute. Juan Bissaka with a throw-in. Out for a corner kick for Portugal. Yeah, Tropical Storm Arthur is skirting the coast of Texas. Galveston, Houston getting a lot of rain. Yeah, I agree. Playing forward. Here's a corner. Cross in, header, cleared away. '61st minute. '61st minute. 1-1. Playing forward. Playing forward. I think it's funny the videos of Europeans trying American food using Mexican food or food from another part of the world sometimes. Barbecue. Salponado for Gonzalo Ramos. They should be beating Congo. I mean, I agree. Playing forward. Saved. '64th minute. Cristiano Ronaldo's the problem. And this is '64th minute. 65 minutes. '66th minute. It is kind of cool to see how the Europeans are trying American foods and such. Saved. Playing forward is Portugal. '66th minute. Goes down. No free kick. Okay. Probably got to see a replay of that before I say anything, but getting a bit chippy, eh? '68th minute. Played in. Cristiano misses. Water break. Oh, this is, I know people probably heard this. Elie Wahi, the Ivory Coast footballer who's playing at the 2026 World Cup, was arrested on the suspicion of fixing offenses less than 2 weeks before the tournament, The Athletic can reveal. Sources with knowledge of events, who like others spoke anonymously as they were not authorized to do so publicly. I mean, Cristiano's been washed. Honestly. Let's be real. He's been washed for 4 years now. Confirmed the 23-year-old is the subject of active investigation, which is seeking to establish whether Wahi, while playing for his club side Nice, deliberately earned a yellow card against Metz on May 17. Why was subsequently arrested by the French police on May 29, immediately after starring with 2 goals in a win over Saint-Etienne that kept Nice in Ligue 1. So he's cheating. Yeah, I knew Hulk Hogan died. He died last year. Second half, water break over Rafael Leal and Semedo coming on for Portugal. Semedo. Okay. Pedro Neto, Nunes. They took off Nunes for Nelson Semedo. Oh, Lord, man. Rafael Leal on and Nelson Semedo on. Okay. 72nd minute. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Nunes off. Okay. I can't say that makes much sense. '72nd minute. '72nd minute throw-in for DR Congo. '73rd minute. Playing forward. Here's a chance. Cross. Cristiano wide. No way. That was the chance. That was the chance. Well, why Naldo? Oh, my Lord. Cristiano Ronaldo, 8 career FIFA World Cup goals. Pickle. 2. So 75th minute substitutions. Goal kick. Cristiano heads it on. Another conspiracy that I hate the most because it's a bad jinx is the final between Mexico and Portugal. I think it's the stupidest conspiracy ever. Here's the thing. I cannot believe that's real until that final actually happens. Well, the Simpsons have predicted so much, you know, predictive programming, which, I mean, predictive programming is a thing. I'm not saying it isn't, but I don't know why they picked Mexico and Portugal, but I think Mexico was like a good football nation that people would know that's in their backyard. That's probably how the creators looked at it. In Portugal, well, I guess the dude grew up when Eusebio was a good player. Or whoever wrote the show grew up when Eusebio was a good player and had an affinity for Portugal. I mean, I guess that's the case. Ball crossed in, cleared away. I mean, the Simpsons have predicted a lot of stuff, but it's either because they are predictive programming or it's just ironic they have. 76 minute. I mean, I'm glad that the UEFA and CONMEBOL teams ball in, blocked away. Saved. Playing forward. Congo had the ball, 77th minute. Shot over the top. '78th minute, 1-1. Ball crossed in, brought down. Portugal have it. Crossed in to the other side. Leal loses it. What are the Cristiano fans going to say now? Algeria beat DR Congo at the AFCON. Algeria have a far better team than Portugal. As I said, if Cristiano loses the World Cup, the GOAT debate is over. It may stay 80-20 if Argentina can't win, but if Argentina go further, '79th minute. There are people who still sort of like the guy who still fought World War II when it was over for like 40 years. You know that meme of like the Japanese soldier who kept fighting World War II when it was over for like 50 years? That. There's Cristiano fans that are that soldier. Hoping to hell he wins the World Cup, so at least it's 50-50 again. Goes down. Offside. whatever that was. That. Oh! 80th minute. There are still Cristiano fans that are believing that he's still better than Messi. '81st minute. '81 minutes. 1-1. Portugal. Headed away. Steps away. Neves gets. Oh, we got bodied. Saved. England, Croatia next. We will be back in minutes. Well, in an hour after this game's over. Playing forward. So Cristiano offered Gonzalo Ramos. They're not going to do that at this point. Well, maybe they will. I don't know. I think he might go full 90. For better or for worse. We will have England, Croatia, live RSR, Vitinha off for Gonzalo Ramos. They're going two strikers. Vitinha, stinker and hooked. Stinker and hooked, Vitinha. Oh. Two strikers. This is either going to work amazingly or work horribly. I don't know which. Stinker and hooked. 10 goals and 25 international appearances for Gonzalo Ramos. Header. Cleared away. Bakambu got a 7.1. Wisa 7.4, 7.3. Kayembe. Neves, Araujo, Neto are the only players on Portugal who have over a 7 rating. João Neves is at 8, which that doesn't make any sense. Hope Panama pull an upset today. Will that be the third match? Either way. That'd be awesome to watch, though. Throw in Mbemba. Banza. Coming off for DR Congo. Damn. I hate that, man. 85th minute. 1-1. '85th minute. One. Portugal has more possession than Ivory or DR Congo. Well, next game in this group will be Uzbekistan, Colombia. Colombia has a really big opportunity if this holds on to being a draw to take the lead in the group. Uzbekistan has an opportunity. Portugal. Then again, the last time Portugal won an international trophy during a big tournament, weren't they a lucky loser? 87th minute. Playing forward. Into the box. Ball crossed in. Well, that just got to the goalie, first of all, but okay. That would be awesome if Iran won it all. Just for the memes. Just for the memes and the crash out. Oh, and by the way, guess who's going to be on stage giving out the World Cup? Yeah. Lisa, man of the match. I agree. The memes that's going to make will be the most hilarious shit ever. If Iran won the World Cup. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but that would be the best meme outcome ever. Knowing the man who's just had an illegal war on their ass is going to be on stage. And I don't know if he could get out of it. Either he's so embarrassed the Lord takes him home in that moment and he won't be on the stage, or he's on the stage and he gets embarrassed by it on. That would just be... The memes would be, wow. I know. 90th minute. Five minutes of stoppage time. Heading away. 90th minute. 5 minutes of stoppage time. 2 flat. All right, that works. Playing forward. Header. Leal. Honestly, DR Congo, if they get this draw, they deserve it. If Portugal wins, that's going to be something. "92 minutes. Portugal playing stupid. Yeah. Also a little bit cocky, I think. Araujo, yellow. 93rd minute. Halfway through stoppage time. Free kick. This could be Ivory Coast's first, or DR Congo's first World Cup point. Three games at Zaire. It's almost like they're mad they're not what they expected. They thought it was going to be easier or something. And that's where you screwed up. Like, that's for the fans to believe. That's not for the players to believe. That's the thing. Like, I hate when players in any sport expect a team to be easy. Like, it's like they hear the talk and, oh, we think this team is easy. And then they're pissed when they're not. That pisses me off to no end. The fans can say, oh, this team's easy. We're going to win this game no matter what. Fans can say that. That's no problem. When the players do that and act like that is the case, then that is a problem. Corner. 94th minute, 1 minute to go. We will be back in an hour for England, Croatia. We'll have a review for that game as well. Ball crossed in. Punched. Goalie catches. And he just runs in front of the box, in front of everybody. DR Congo, honestly, what a deserved point. That's going to be good. Bruno Fernandes. Top of the box, and nobody was there off that cross. 30 seconds to go. An advantage played, and oh my God, will they? Good steal. Final 30 seconds. Out for a throw-in for DR Congo. Best case scenario, draw. This is fair. Portugal can blame themselves. Can only blame themselves. I agree. Frauds, 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 frauds. Frauds. 95th minute. Full time. It is 1-1 in the Portugal-DR Congo game, and frankly, that is a fair result. First ever World Cup point for DR Congo. Portugal lets down their fan base. With that being said, if you like this stream, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Respect to DR Congo. What a game. Well played. If you like this stream, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification to subscribe. Hit that hype button. Put stuff in the algorithm. Hit that join button to become a member. Send chats on the live streams. Comment on this video. Put this in playlist. Share with friends and family. All that great stuff. I'll see you in an hour for England versus Croatia, which will have a review at the end of it. So there will be a review after the stream. And then we will soon be back. We will soon be back for, after that, for Panama, Ghana, which will have a live review. And then we'll have Uzbekistan, Colombia just as a live. So 3 more matches today. Then, of course, we have Czechia, South Africa live tomorrow. Switzerland, Bosnia live, Canada, Qatar live RSR, Mexico, South Korea live RSR tomorrow. So with that being said, I'll see you in an hour. I'm running. I'm out. Peace. See you.